What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Brutal Planet Comics. I'm your host, Trey, the Brute Daniels. Oh, once again, it's Friday, even though Obi-Wan dropped on Wednesday, unbeknownst to me, but whatever. Why change your debut date and then your follow-up dates? But, it's Disney, Star Wars, it's nonsense. So, alright, know what we're talking about? Obi-Wan Episode 3, or Part 3. I'm gonna do the same thing I did last week. This one was, okay. We'll talk about it. And I'm gonna keep up the same format. I'm gonna give the good bits an up and the bad bits a down. So, without further ado, let's jump right into it. So things start off pretty well, with Obi-Wan meditating, calling out to Qui-Gon. And all the thoughts are running through his head from the previous two episodes, all the encounters, the realization that Anakin Skywalker is still alive, all this stuff. The pacing is very good. Once again, Ewan McGregor is tremendous as Obi-Wan. This setup is really, really cool, and plus it parallels really well with the setup going into Darth Vader. It's very, very good. And Darth Vader's scene, he's getting his arms put on and his legs and all his breathing apparatuses and all that stuff has been put on, and him sitting in his throne and hearing a third sister run her mouth telling lies. I guess third sister is convincing Vader that Obi-Wan killed the Grand Inquisitor. I guess that's the lie that she's spinning to the rest of her superiors, I guess. Whatever. This intro is really good. It introduces Obi-Wan really well, and Darth Vader is menacing and just domineering. Great. All of this, it's getting it up. Okay, so this is where things get a little, what's the word I'm looking for? Messy. Man. So Obi-Wan and baby Leia are on a planet called Mapuzo, if I'm saying that right. Mapuzo. I think it's Mapuzo, which is a mining colony, where the transporter dropped them off at. Great. And Obi-Wan, of course, well, in this one scene, he's seeing visions of Anakin and stuff like that, and he's tripping out. And he's supposed to be meeting somebody at a rendezvous point in order to, get off world or whatever safely. So he keeps telling Leia about this plan, like, hey, you're gonna be a silent daughter, we're gonna be farmers, just be quiet, and all that stuff. But of course, the moment that she has the opportunity, she completely defies everything he says, and flags down somebody to come and give them a transport ride. It's just another way to demean and humiliate Obi-Wan and make him be drugged by the nose by our baby MacGuffin. I didn't like this at all. Once again, it makes our hero look stupid and makes it seem, and plus her plan to go and flag somebody down worked flawlessly. I don't like that at all. That was not okay. I'm giving that a down for sure. But then the next couple scenes were actually pretty good. So as they're traveling through Mapuzo trying to get to the next spaceport, the guy who's traveling with them is pretty much just a trucker or whatever. And he picks up some stormtroopers that's on their way. And stormtroopers, of course, begin to question Obi-Wan and stuff. And he spends some story about who they are, or whatever. And, of course, Leia keeps running her mouth. To the point that Obi-Wan breaks character, of course, and calls her Leia instead of the fake name that they gave. But he was able to spin a really, really cool and heartwarming story about Leia's mother and how she reminds him of her, and the stories that they spun is that she passed away. So the stormtroopers end up buying this story. They get off in the next stop or whatever. And I really like this. I really like this scene. It's like they'll give a scene when Obi-Wan is like himself, then they'll give us another scene when he's useless. It's very weird, but I thought this scene was really cool. It was really nice. And then Leia was like, which was kind of funny, like, are you my daddy?
Say what?
I was like, somebody better call Maury Povich. And then we get to a really cool scene where Obi-Wan, they get to this checkpoint and the jig is up. The stormtroopers, they catch up to him. They put the probe. They know who he is. And he just starts taking his blaster and starts going to town. And like, I'm like, yo, this is the Obi-Wan I've been looking for. The dude was out there laying waste. Laying waste, and Leia got in the way, but he was able to save her. Like this is the Obi-Wan I know. Engaging in heroics, it was really, really cool. So with that scene with him and Leia on the back of the truck, and this one, both of these scenes are great. It's getting it up. And then things got stupid real quickly, because we can't have our hero just be heroic. He has to be saved somehow. So after he wipes out this platoon, another platoon shows up. He immediately surrenders. What? Blaster in hand. And plus, he doesn't even drop it. He just kind of goes to the ground with it still pointed. So they're not very good at their jobs. They come out. He's like, put your hands, drop yourself. He just does it. I'm like, bruh, they're going to kill you, man. But they have to put Obi-Wan in a position to have to be saved. So then this officer, who's a turncoat named Taladurith, I think I'm saying her name right, saves them. And she just bust caps on all the stormtroopers from behind. And she was the rendezvous that they were supposed to meet, but she was late. Blah, 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 blah. There was a probe coming. Yada, 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 yada. Nonsense, nonsense, nonsense. I hate stuff like this. It's just, this episode is like, Obi-Wan's great. Oh, wait, no, he's not. Obi-Wan's great. Oh, wait, no, he's not. It's just so inconsistent all over the place. I got no choice. It's gotta get it down. Now, here's a scene I actually enjoyed. So, second brother has had enough of third sister's nonsense because she wants to be the Grand Inquisitor. They didn't explain why she deserves it or anything, but you know why. But the second brother's like, yo, look, I'm next in command. The Grand Inquisitor's dead. I am now the I'm next in line. And she's like, oh, well, Darth Vader told me that it's gonna be me if I do what I'm supposed to do. Just nonsense, just nonsense. He just wants to usurp for reasons beyond my feeble understanding. So second brother is like, yo, I already talked to Vader already because I'm tired of you going over my head. And I'm like, yeah, good for you. Good for you, second brother. Don't take this crap laying down because this girl ain't nothing. And like, man, granted, I understand her pursuit for power and all that other great stuff. Yeah. But I'm like, yo, that joint's getting old because that's not how the real world works. Good for him. As a matter of fact, I'm really starting to like his character because he's the only one that's keeping her in check now because that girl, wow. So just for second brother, this whole scene, it's getting it up. Oh, and now we're back to trash. So we get to the hideout on Mapuzo that Tala has, and she's been smuggling other people and saving lives and all that great stuff. She once believed in the Empire, but now she doesn't. Blah blah blah. And then she said, then there's like carvings on the wall that Quinlan Voss, which was one of Obi-Wan's friends, had come through there at some point, and blah 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 blah. I guess she saved him. This scene just felt really contrived, and I didn't really. It really took me out of it because now it's just, well, not only was it an information dump, but it was just like, look how useless Obi-Wan is. Like, oh yeah, I need everybody to help me along. He has no agency whatsoever. I was like, oh, somebody else told me to go here. Oh, no, somebody else told me to go here. Zero agency. I don't really like that, especially for this character, which we'll talk about a little bit further. But I gotta just go ahead and give this scene a big old down. I just didn't like it. It just didn't resonate with me. Whatever, moving on. Now we're getting somewhere. Okay, so Vader shows up in this town of Mapuzo and is completely laying waste to the locals. This man didn't care. Man, woman, child, infant. It didn't matter. Everybody could get it. Because he knows that, you know, Obi-Wan is... he's more inclined to save people, but I mean, he's choking dudes and choking ladies, dragging them down the street. I was like, oh, now we're getting, like, this is the Vader I know. So like a lot of things done with Vader is done really, really well. And this scene was just incredible. It was incredible. And so for that, most definitely, it's getting it up. So this is where things starts getting a little hazy. So Obi-Wan's like, all right, cool. Look, Vader's gonna keep killing people, and I'm gonna try. And this is my thing. Once again, it's setting up for something heroic. I want you to remember this. This scene is setting up something heroic. He looks at Tala and says, "Hey, take Leia and go through this underground tunnel or whatever. Just go. I'm gonna buy you time. I'm gonna lead them away from here." So he's making the heroic sacrificial play. So like first in my head, I'm like, oh man, this is gonna be freaking sweet. This is gonna be great. I can't wait to see what he's gonna do in order to save Leia so she can escape to Alderaan, because that's what I want her to do. I want her to go to freaking Alderaan. I'm tired of seeing that kid. Anyway. Rage quit. Anyway. Then this thing happened, and I literally jumped out of my chair with anger. So Obi-Wan goes into the sand dunes, and of course Vader, is there waiting for him. And I kid you not, Obi-Wan straight up, yellow belly coward style, runs away. I'm not making this up. Not a tactical retreat, not a defensive stance retreat. No. Ran. He ran away. I was furious. I jumped out my chair and said, "What is going on here?" I was so freaking through. Then it gets worse. It gets worse. So now he's in the sand dunes. He pulls out the blade for the first time in pure petrified fear. Now, I maybe they're trying to see how far Obi-Wan has fallen and how he has no confidence left or something like that. But if that's what they were trying to do, they set it up completely wrong, because he went out there to be a hero. He left Leia with Tala so they can escape, so he can be a hero and save the girl and this town. And then they made him instantly into a coward. I was furious. So, to say the least, this whole scene gets a down. No, that's not enough. Down. A brown down.
You came here to die.
I gotta move on. I'm gonna have a heart attack. I gotta move on. So now we have this battle, and the battle I really, really liked, because Obi-Wan is rusty. He ain't been in a battle in a decade. This is prime Vader. He's been hunting Jedi for a decade. All that stuff. Obi-Wan gets pretty much massacred in this battle. I loved it. It showed the power of Vader, showing how far he's come as a Sith Lord, and also the banter that they had. The emotional banter is like, Obi-Wan's like, what happened to you? He's like, I am what you made me. He's like, you should have killed me. All this emotion coming out of Vader during their conflict. It's great. I really, really enjoyed it. It was amazing. 100% amazing. Then there is this scene that completely blew my mind. So they're in this sand dune. Vader grabs Obi-Wan with the Force. He's choking him, and then causes some flammable materials to land all over the ground. He sets them on fire, and pretty much tells Obi-Wan, "You're going to suffer the way I have suffered." So there's like pretty much a sea of fire, and of course, it's a callback to Episode 3 when he got burned, and he just force grabs him into the flames, and Obi-Wan is like half his body's burning up. I was like, oh my god. I was like, Jesus Christ, boy is in some trouble. Good grief. And so that whole scene, it's getting it up without question. It's getting it up, man. My goodness gracious, it's getting it up. But of course, it goes south. So while Obi-Wan is taking this epic burning, and I mean epic burning, we cannot allow him to find a way out. We cannot allow him to find a way to overcome. I kid you not. The torture was going to continue. The stormtroopers were coming, the whole shebang. And Tala Dureth shows up out of nowhere and saves it. Starts shooting stormtroopers and exasperating the flames so he can get away. His robot picked him up and they escaped. And of course, you know, Vader stands there like a gangster watching the flames. He's like, I'll catch him later. I was so done. Down. I mean, you cannot even let our hero find ways out of situations. He has to be saved by a much stronger, more capable female counterpart. It's just messy, and I'm just tired of it. Whatever. Moving on. And of course, we have to end with third sister getting more screen time. So Leia gets to the end of the path, and of course, third sister found out where the end of this path was going to go, or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Catches up to the baby, and it ends with the baby running away from her. Now, the way this baby can evade grown men, third sister might not be able to catch her. But the way this thing ended was ridiculous. Down! It's not like I'm even disappointed with this episode. It's just... I think the writers are so bent on trying to appease a particular group or a particular ideology or something that they cannot just let our hero be a hero. He has to be saved by somebody or some, and it's getting real old real quick, and I don't like it at all. I don't like the trend, and like even though like last week I was like, yo, this show has potential. I see it starting to circle. Whatever. Overall, what I felt about this episode. I thought there was a couple of high points, but it was way too many low points. This episode's got to get it down. It is what it is. So, what did you guys think about this episode? Did you like it? Do you think it's good? Do you think maybe it's something I missed? Let me know in the comment section below what you think and feel about this episode. I'll definitely like to hear your thoughts. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share the video. And follow me on all those dope social media platforms you see over there. And don't forget, we're still on the road to 1,000. We're getting there ever so slowly. But progress is progress. Anyway, you all have been awesome. And I'll catch you all next time. Also, if you want to support my channel, check out spinwiz.com or download the Spinwiz app. And check out my comic series, Trouble. It was written with a lot of love, and it was definitely my favorite comic series to write. I've also written it in English and in Spanish, so whatever floats your boat, I got it for you. Thanks again, and check it out.